Hello, and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 5 stream. My name is Adam. I am the community manager of Franchise Hockey, and finally, with me, making his, I think FHM 5 debut, stream debut, at least Wednesday debut, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Yeah, I guess I am. Hey, everybody.
And we are back with our 2018-2019 Quebec Nordiques series. Jeff, we brought Quebec back using the league expansion editor on July 1st. We moved Toronto to the Central. We put Quebec in their place. And so our initial save, we started off on a pre-release build. We've made some changes. So actually, since the last time I streamed, I went back and kind of basically just went through the whole series again, picked the same team with maybe one change. And so I zoomed us back up to the start of November, which is where we were, and we're basically where we were at 6-2 for 14 points, and sitting kind of 11th place in the Eastern Conference. Overall, not too bad. Jeff, first thoughts of our team that we drafted?
You're spending a lot of money on a lot of players who aren't that good.
I didn't think
but
it was.
6-6 is pretty impressive so far. I mean, you've got Nylander, so, and let's see. Okay, Jordan Stahl. Don't see a whole lot of scoring here, so I think you're going to be in. I don't think you're going to be staying 500 for long.
Well, But
we should mention here that we're actually. I think you're playing this on the same test build that I am. So this is a test build, so we may see some weird stuff going on in the as we're doing this tonight. So if we get a crash or something, not entirely out of the question, but I should mention that we were originally planning on getting the first update out tomorrow. It looks like we're going to push that back one day. Found a couple of things later today that we're going to need to take a look at, and just one crash bug that we definitely want to fix, and maybe a couple can get in as well, but we'll probably do a final test build tomorrow and then get that out on Friday for you if everything goes well.
Well, as we can see if we pull up our stats summary, Adam Lowry, of course, is the number one goal scorer for our team with 3 goals, 9 assists for 12 points, 14 games played for a +6, so he's doing really well. And, overall, we don't have anyone who's great at scoring. I mean, we got some guys who can score, but we got a nice balance here. I mean, you can see we're getting points all the way across the board. It's kind of been a little bit up and down. We haven't had to deal with too many injuries yet, which has been good. Had a few guys miss a couple games, but overall, things are working out. One of the things I did on the slight change was I added a few more prospects. So we have a handful of guys who we signed as free agents, including, so Philip Magnuson, Zach Walker, Bailey Webster. And I'm just going to point this out. We got a great, in the first save, we had 2 teams that we had for our minor league affiliates. This time we got even better names. We got Fort Worth Cosmos and the San Jose Dictators played in the ECHL. How do you not love that name?
The San Jose Dictators.
Yes. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's perfect.
So San Jose has 3 teams now. They got an AHL team, an NHL team, and an ECHL team.
Well, yeah, what else could you want?
Okay.
So we loaded up on some prospects just to give us a little bit more depth. Because we don't have many guys. We don't have any extra draft picks, again, just because of that change. But we'll likely end up trying to dump some guys at some point. In the meantime, Gears Hunt in the chat says congrats on the new release. You guys always do great work, so thank you, Gears Hunt. Even though I didn't do too much for this, Jeff should probably be the one being thanked. So.
Yeah, you did some.
And Gudu, of course, has shown up. So hi, Gudu. Thanks for coming. Overall, I haven't really touched too much. We need to probably look at contracts at some point. Actually, speaking of which, I forget. What did Nylander sign in this one? So yeah, Nylander in our first game only signed a 2-year deal. This time he wanted a 4-year deal with $4.2 million, which I'm sure the real Leafs would absolutely love if he would actually only want that much. So we got him on a pretty nice deal.
Yeah, you got him pretty cheaply there, although you do have a lot of money locked up in a few places. Bailey, that 6-year deal that the Islanders gave him.
But at the same time, we didn't have a lot of guys. We got quite a bit of guys becoming free agents at the end of the year, including like Braden Coburn, who's 33. We're probably going to let go. Marcus Johansson, who's making, $5 million. He's probably gone. So we do have some balance there. Actually, I wonder what Joel Armia wants, because he's not going anywhere. The new contract, he wants $2 million over 3 years.
I mean, pretty reasonable. It's a little bit of a raise, but
I'm not going to argue him on that.
I mean, you are going to be stuck with a 2-star guy making $2 million for another couple of years. So by the time that runs out, it may not look that good, but you need the depth right now.
Yeah. And so we got some other guys, but we're not too rushed about pushing for some of them. Gears Hunt, or Radcast says, this is my favorite one since FHM 2, so glad to hear it, Radcast. And Gears Hunt asks, Jeff, are you going to do a Tactics for Idiots video?
Yeah, then maybe what we might do is when I do, Adam and I usually go back and forth on these. I do 1 week with the stream, and then he does the other. So when I go on next week, maybe we'll just spend a lot of time going through tactics, and that's pretty much what it'll amount to.
Yeah. So one of the nice things that I said I've talked about before is I like this. If you go to tactics and go to units, you can see, kind of get an idea of what offense, defense, speed, toughness, skill with the star sets are, and you can see we're actually not bad. I mean, for the most part, our first 3 lines are pretty good.
Yeah, nothing really super outstanding, but
yeah, the 4th line, it's showing us 1 star, but I'm guessing that's because it doesn't have defense. Would I be correct on that?
Yeah, we need to fix that. It's basing that on 5 guys instead of 3 like it should be.
Yeah, so that's the reason why it's showing 1. Otherwise, I feel pretty good. Like, I mean, we're not a super tough team, but we don't need to be a super tough team. I went through and kind of just found where I thought guys were best at, like TJ Brody, put him as a rushing defenseman. I put Michael Grabner as a sniper because all he does is shoot into an empty net. William Nylander's a sniper. Joel Armia, kind of a 2-way forward, good guy. Adam Lowry, power forward, likes pushing the play. So that's great. And Brian Label in the chat says, hey, great job with FHM5.
So, thank you.
Board confidence update. So Kevin Fontaine is our order. And he thinks the season has progressed decently so far, but the team needs to maintain this performance to achieve our goal. We finished 6-6-2. He's mostly satisfied. Which, I mean, Vegas kind of made our owner very nervous because he wants us to play really well.
Yeah, we got a hard act to live up to with them, but
overall, us sitting at 500,
we're actually ahead of Vegas at this point. So
yes, in this game, Toronto, we moved them over to the Central, and they're actually just kicking everybody. So Joe Armia signed, so we got 1 less free agent, so that's good. I don't even know who's in this upcoming draft. I guess Artemi Panarin. So we're 6th in the Atlantic. In the Western Conference, Toronto's in 1st with St. Louis nipping and Dallas. Winnipeg's having a tough go at 4-11. And we'll continue on here. Jeff, if there's anything you want to talk about that I'm missing, by all means, please let me know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just been watching for if I can show you anything that we've just fixed in the last couple of days that is going to come up. You should be getting a scouting report soon. We got that fixed. They weren't showing up previously.
Oh, that's one more thing I did do is I added a bunch of scouts. Now, did I set them to assistant?
Let me check that for you. Yes, you did.
Did? Okay, so to do that, you go Manager tab, Options, and I set my scouting and my training to assistant. Now, Jeff, if he looked at my player, or looked at my personnel, he would see I hired a bunch of scouts from all over. I kept our coaching staff the exact same because, I mean, that was great. Fred Bathwaite in net, I think we had him, and then Chris Chellis on defense, Wendell Clark on forward, Kurt Frazier as our skill coach, And hired Peter Friesen as our trainer. With a lot of scouts.
Yeah, you hired quite a few. Bill Dandy, there's a name.
There was some great names we came across in some of this stuff. Oh man, what was the one? I think it might have been one of the earlier builds. Was it just? I can't. It's not coming to me at the moment. It was just fantastic. But we got lots of guys scouting, which is what we want to see. We'll take a look at scouting again, but scouting hasn't changed too much since from FHM 5 to FHM 4, did it? Unless I'm mistaken.
Say again, you cut out on me there?
There wasn't a drastic change between FHM 4 and 5 for scouting.
For scouting, you mean?
Yeah.
No.
And James Neal is mad at his former team, Vegas, as they take him out for 4 months with a ruptured tendon in his foot.
Wow.
Ooh, rough go about it. Jeff, there is a big worded thing in the chat there for you.
Big worded thing. We call those questions.
That's a big worded thing, Jeff. That's a big worded thing.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll see what Brian's asking. Does individual take precedent when you're setting tactics? Does individual take precedent over unit, and then unit tactics over global? Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Okay. So we just
you can drill down as far as you want. Go ahead.
So we just won a game versus Quebec. Adam Lowry, first star.
Yes, he's off to a pretty good start there.
Yeah. Ratcast says, where do you find coaches and scouts to hire? If on the right side, if you want to use the shortcuts, there's the option which looks like a bunch of people, which is the personnel one. So the team's non-playing staff. And what you do is click on it, or you can go to Nordiques and go to... Is it not Nordiques? Nordiques staff, bring you to the same screen. Then once you're here, there's an option that says free agents. And that brings you up a list of everyone who's a head coach. You can assistant coach, scout, trainer. You can just kind of skip to it to find the better fit. If I'm going to hire a scout, I'm going to look at scouting, though.
Yeah, and just getting the second part of Brian's question, if you've got a player checked and you make a change to global strategy, that he's still going to have his own specific strategy. So if you change your global strategy and then you don't want your player doing what he was doing before, you have to go into the individual player screen and remove that override.
Yeah. One of the changes that was made, though, is you can now hire scouts to be assistant coaches, right?
Yeah.
Or a head coach. Although you'd want a scout to become immediately a head coach would probably not be your best choice. And there's a scouting report. Yay!
There we go. So proof that's fixed.
Holy cow, there's a few guys scouted here.
You've got like 9 million scouts you hired, so not that surprising.
That is one big scouting report.
Yeah, I mean it's
scouting
a lot to go through, but you'll see at least what you're trying to do at this point is get your players, get the guys in the upcoming draft scouted to a reasonable level. I didn't look at how you got the scouting assignments set up.
Just let the AI hand it. I didn't.
Oh, you let the AI do it? Yeah, it looks like it's...
So because we are a expansion team, I wanted to get scouting on teams across the league as well. In case there's somebody we need to look at, picking up like Hunter Shinkarek, who's on waivers. 2-star talent, 3-star potential. Probably not worth picking up, though.
Yeah, you got to wonder about that potential at this point on him.
Yeah, so game versus the Rangers here, 6-10. We'll just kind of let them... We're going to put UC Saros. Grubauer is actually 2 fires right now, so... Just kind of send this one out, and Saros picks up the win, 6-4. Score first, they tie it up, we take the lead, they score again, tie it up, and then we put the pedal down and never look back. So excellent. That's just what we want to see. Now, I also went with the back original Quebec logo, too, on this particular save.
Yeah, I saw it, and it looks like you picked up Nordiques uniform as well.
I did. Those are the ones off of our forums from the historical mod.
Yeah, looks pretty sharp.
Yes. There is somebody had done what the Nordiques uniform was going to be had they actually been in Quebec another year. With
oh, right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was just a blue and white.
I was kind of tempted to do that one. And we lose in overtime on our next game. So actually, since we've started the stream, this has gone okay. 8-6-3 now.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing what Vegas did last year, basically.
So we were
not
down
quite that good, but still
we were down 2-0 and then
impressive.
fought back and lost in a shootout.
Yeah, maybe show one game so we can people can see what who haven't seen the in game so far.
Yeah, we will get there. So
we got a Montreal game coming up, maybe.
Could be Cal Jenner.
Looking at. No, actually, it looks like Montreal is until December the 13th, which is a month and a bit. I don't think we're going to quite make it there in this stream.
Oh, is that a challenge, Jeff?
No, if you want to sim a bunch, go ahead.
Now, I know Jeff can't hear it, but I did get some new tunes for the stream. This is one of these happy, upbeat ones right now. Feeling good about everything.
I'll take your word for it.
And we got a game versus Florida, so we'll play that out. We'll leave Grubauer in net. And see how he does. I'm just going to take a check of my options. Play-by-play speed's normal, clock speed's fast. We're just going to watch our goals. And the sound's on low.
Sweet, don't really want to be deafened by the goal horn.
I haven't put custom goal horns in yet, Jeff. And we scored first, Josh Mason. And you can see we have the referee telling us there's been a goal scored. Calvin DeHaan and Marcus Johansson assisted. Scores to make it. And we are getting badly outshot. It was 9-1, up to 9-4 now at the end of the period.
Yeah, I should mention that's one of the things that's changed this year. You noticed in games last year you tend to get really lopsided shot totals. And I think I've worked out that problem, so you shouldn't be seeing that in FHM 5. At least anywhere near as often as you did in FHM 4.
Stephen Jones? I don't know which way that's pronounced.
Jones,
sorry, yes. Not Jones. It's been a long day, Jeff. Got a casket and Tanner Pearson assist.
Yeah, you were at the home opener last night, so I'll give you it's Johns. And
No,
the NHL guide even tells you how to pronounce Steven properly.
Okay, it is Steven. Well, I have a friend who has the name spelled like that, and it's Stefan. So
Yeah.
it's back and forth.
Although they do that, I think, for pretty much every player now. That's even the ones that are obvious.
Okay, shots are
Like,
16-13 at the end of 2.
Yeah. So if you had trouble pronouncing Jack Johnson's name, they got that all spelled out for you in the guide.
they're killing the penalty and still outshooting us. That's not good.
It's not like we've got a great power play, though. That's one of the things that's going to hurt with like the limited offensive talent we've got.
Janorak scores to make 3-1. I'm sorry, what about not scoring goals? Missed that. And by the end of the game, shots are tied. 23-23, but we have the win, 3-1. Grubauer's hot. Big win. Doesn't matter if you win 1-0, 3-1, or 4-3.
Yeah, so him probably 9-6-3 with this exhibition team or expansion team rather that.
Exhibition. And a few more messages here. All right. Continuing on.
Looks like Minnesota picked up Hunter Shinkaruk off waivers, so
okay. Did
they thought he was worth it?
Did you happen to take a look at what I named the arena?
Oh, do I want to know?
I actually don't remember off the top of my head.
The Bonne Chance Arena.
That's right. That's what it was. The Good Luck Arena. How do you not like that?
You couldn't get it. Yeah, that's going to jinx us. You pretty much doomed this one from the start.
Huh. No.
You couldn't get a corporate sponsor?
What's that?
You couldn't get a corporate sponsor?
No. Didn't want it. Grubauer's in net again, sim through it, and we lose 6-1 versus Boston. Boston stomps on us. It was 5-0 before William Nylander scores with just over 5 minutes left in the game. That's a rough one.
Yeah, well, at least we broke the shutout.
Ratcast in the chat. I got the Oakland Seals in a random debut season. I'm first place after 5 games.
Yeah, that's if anyone hasn't heard about that yet, that's one of the new things we added for FHM 5. You can set historical mode to have your players debut at completely randomized years. So you might get Gretzky showing up in the 1920s or the 2010s, or somebody from the 20s or 30s showing up now.
Put Saros in net for this game versus Vegas. And we lose 5-1.
Yeah, kind of slipping here. Although it looks so now we're going into a road trip now.
Well, 21 points. I'm still not mad about how this is going.
Although starting to drift towards 500 though.
Patrick Laine has signed a 1-year deal worth $4.2 million. I think the Jets would be okay with that too.
Yeah, I think that's actually something I'm not sure it's going to make it into this update because I just sent in a request the other day, but I'm going to take the really good guys off the bridge contract type of deal. Oh. So they'll be asking for big money, and if they're like just the really top level of stars like Laine, we are going to be asking for the bigger contracts, and you won't be able to do that again.
Grubauer gives up 1 goal on 39 shots in the second period and loses a Heat star as we lose 1-0.
So that's 2 goals we scored in the last 3 games total?
What are you going to be like that for, Jeff? Do you remember when we announced this and I was so excited and I told you we are going to win a Stanley Cup at some point? Why are you trying to bring us down?
So you wanted to win a Stanley Cup, so you started with an expansion team. That's good thinking.
Absolutely. I mean, and they're Canadian, so it's definitely due for one.
No, we're still ahead of the Senators, I imagine, so...
Definitely ahead of the Canucks.
Yeah. Canucks who get a one home game, and then they stick us on a 6-game road trip to start the season. Thanks, NHL.
Perfect. That's exactly what you
Well,
do.
at least the guys will bond early. That's the theory, I guess. That's I can't complain about the start Pedersen got.
No, Pedersen looks like the real deal. So, how long until you make him 5 stars, Jeff?
Well, his potential's there already, but
I know.
I can't remember. I moved him up a little bit. Did you start this one before we updated it the other day?
Yes, this one I started last.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't have today's.
No.
There's a. I made some data changes on. What is it?
Oh, we finally got an overtime win.
There we go. So we actually can win low-scoring games.
We had to beat Ottawa. And it went to a shootout, but we got the win finally. Whew. Ratcast says he's got Gillard Perreault, Brad Marchand, and Wayne Cashman as line 1. Grant Fuhrer and net. Fun stuff.
Jesus, Brad Marchand and Wayne Cashman on the same line. That'd be fun to play against.
You'd be so angry.
Basically the 2 dirtiest Bruins in history.
I think the former Islanders GM's kind of up there, too.
Yeah, Milbury doesn't quite make into that category.
I don't know. How many times do you know a player chase a guy up into the seats?
And beat him with a shoe.
Exactly. And you're going to use that and say, no, that's not that dirty? Really? Really? And we might get our first coach fire, John Hines, who goes from, surprising his team into the playoffs. They're 7-16-1, and the ownership is very upset. Jeff, there's another one of those wordy things in the chat for you.
Yeah, a question from Brian on, do the players learn your tactical preferences, or can you change them with much downside? Right now you can, but that's something we're going to get added in. There is going to be a little bit more of a penalty coming for changing your tactics around a lot, but right now you can get away with that as much as you want.
Game versus Nashville, we were 15-6-2. Do I put UC Saros in net for this game?
I think so.
Oh, Cal Janorak is only at 47%. He's getting out of the lineup. We're changing that lineup right now. Why is he at 47%?
Might have been an in-game injury that knocked him down. Yeah, that you don't want to be doing that though.
Replace him with Tobias Ryder straight up.
Yep.
That's why it's good to always keep an eye on that.
Yeah,
99%'s one thing.
Yeah, I'm guessing he probably got hurt midway through the last one, and we'll need a little bit of rest to come back.
Pekka-Rinne's on fire, literally, so we're going to play this game out and see if we can do anything.
No, you started Grubauer. I thought you were going to do Saros.
I changed my mind. He played in the last one.
Yeah, it's his old team now. He's motivated against him.
Are you telling me you put that into the game?
Actually, now that I think about it, I think that is actually in there. Trying to remember for sure, but I remember. Yeah, I think it does.
Well, now you tell me.
I can't remember what the exact requirements are, though. I think he may need to be traded for that to happen. I can't remember if he has to come over in a trade or if it's just that was on that team in a relatively recent time frame. But again, we're staying relatively even with these guys.
So far. We're not that far out from being really good.
Yeah. Reader is another one. He's on a 1 year. His contract's expiring, but he still does have a little potential left. So.
And they score. Phil Forsberg makes it 1-1. for 88. End of the first. 2-1. Shots 9-9. The one nice thing about goals is you always know you're going to score. When you see the highlights, someone's going to score.
Yeah, you've got the only goals turned on, so you know it's coming.
You just don't know who still. But
Yeah. Now you get a general idea. Sometimes it turns around and you get a breakaway or something.
well, they're out shooting us pretty bad right now. 17-12, but we're keeping it close.
This is one of the better teams in the league, so the fact that we're just hanging in there is impressive.
Well, we stole their backup goal. Blue shots are now 26-18.
Although it looks like they did find a pretty good replacement. They wound up getting Kari Lettinen.
Yeah. Who I believe they actually ended up trading for if we check his stats.
They got him from a low draft pick. They got him from the Devils for a low draft pick.
And Tura scores to make it 3-2 with just over 11, or just under 11.5 minutes left to go.
So you may want to go in and do your tactics and make a bit of a change to still do some of the things you did last year. Switch it up to intense attacking, and there's a few more options there now. And you can just do that on a global level if you want to do it quickly.
Well, we're waiting for a goal here to see what happens.
All right,
Tobias Ryder scores to tie it up. So at this point, I don't think we should probably change tactics if we're tied up.
Probably not. No, and that's that's his first game for us, isn't it?
Yeah, one of them for sure.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
That's
no.
not so bad putting him first line now. What happened?
Oh, they're going to score. There it is. Johansson scores. Make it 4-3 with 5 minutes left.
No, I heard you moving around. I thought you fell over or something.
No. So now we want to go to and do what do we want to do for tactics? Put it aggressive, intense?
Well, aggressive is more along the lines of more hitting, but you want to get attacking up there, and you probably want to put a little more pressure on them.
Attacking and pressure.
And maybe up the tempo too.
Jump out.
And possibly depending
Yes.
if you want, and up to you whether you want to have them shooting more or not.
And we end up losing 4-3, unfortunately. Just can't beat Pecorino. He's too hot.
I mean, when you get outshot 37-25 and Renee's the other goalie, good luck with that.
We did what we could. We got it tied into the third. Fought back to tie it up. But just couldn't clinch it. Brad Marchand's up for it. Alright. Game versus St. Louis. I'll put Saros in it for this one. I guess I should get Jenner back in too next game. And we pick up the loss. And, 4-0.
Not doing too well in the games you sim. Chat question, tactical player tempo high. So if you set each player to this, look at the high tempo, the team will be an up and down the ice team. Yeah, generally they'll try to move plays along a little faster. They'll trying to think, are they going to? They'll, yeah, generally, yeah. That said, the basic effect is that it's going to move the play cycle along faster, and things will get done a little quicker. And they'll tend to rush stuff a bit and make more mistakes.
Mr. Patterson has 9 goals, 9 assists for 18 points in 23 games for you, Jeff.
And looks like he just had a hat trick there.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Game versus Colorado. And man, we can't get a win. We give up 46 shots and they get 15.
Okay, starting to come off part the seams here. Have you got the waiver alert turned on?
I do. Well, I've been watching it as it goes by. I don't have it directly turned on.
Maybe want to turn it on just in case, because we should probably start watching for guys that can help us a little bit. Somebody 2.5-star guy pops up. That's going to be an upgrade over most of our roster.
All right, so to do that, I want to go to Manager Options.
Yep.
And I want to click on when a player is available on waivers who is 2 stars.
Yeah, try that for now. If it gets spammy, you can move it up to 3.
Done. One of the things up on our YouTube channel, and coming soon to a blog near you, is a season-long FHM prediction that Jeff ran for us a few times. A lot of times.
Jeff, the NHL one? I was going to say.
Yes.
I did.
Did.
Yeah, it's so long ago now.
Yes, but can you remember who won the cup?
That was San Jose.
It was.
Over Washington in the final 6 games.
Jeff had Vancouver in the Western Final.
I did not. I had the Jets losing in the first round, though.
We know why you did it. Just because.
Yeah. Sure. It's all an anti-Jet conspiracy.
You heard it here first, folks. And we finally get a pick up 1 point. We lose it in overtime versus Florida. We are fighting an uphill battle here. 11, 13, and 4 now for 26 points.
Speaking of the Jets, have they turned it around in this one yet?
I'm scared to look, to be honest.
I mean, they can't get much worse. They started 4-10.
Who knew Adam Lowry was so important to that lineup?
Apparently so.
And we have a development report, which is kind of what I wanted to see. Coburn's going down, everybody else is going up.
You still there, Adam? You cut out on me?
Yep. Yeah. I said
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
going up except for Coburn.
The Steam skipped there for a second, too, so you may wind up with 2 pieces.
I see us. Hi. Thanks for coming out. And if we go look at the schedule, because Jeff wanted to know, Toronto's still in first at 22-7. Winnipeg's recovered a bit. They're 11-19 now. So not great.
Not that much.
But they're a little better. Taking a look at the stats. Ovechkin's leading everybody with 25 goals already. Crosby's got 29 assists. Plus minus is Victor Hedman at 28. Yeah, CSI says, well, Winnipeg's off to a tough start. They are. Josh Manson, our captain, is leading the league in penalty minutes. That's just what you want, right?
Yeah, takes after his dad.
And let's see. Calvin DeHaan was up there for shots blocked.
Yeah, don't see any other Nordiques in there, but not like we're expecting a bunch of top-end individual performances this year.
What, I was expecting hundreds. Hundreds. Oh, I was going to check to see how our minor league teams are doing.
Oh, yeah, that's could be a little scary.
Horrifying, I think, is the correct word.
You got a couple of 1.5 star guys, or is that no? That's actually guys who were signed directly to Fort Worth.
So I want to set it to Fort Worth. We're going to select do the American Hockey League. And we want to go to standings. And we can see here. What was the team name again? I'm drawing a blank.
Fort Worth Cosmos.
There we go. They're in the Pacific Division, and they're 15-12-2 for second place.
Yeah, kind of surprising.
Not actually bad. They're 8-5-2 at home, 7-7-0 on the road.
Although you actually you picked up Curtis Lazar and Jake Vertinen and sent them down. Then
They did.
you got Jason Dickinson too, so you got a few NHL caliber guys that are.
They also got a pretty good goaltender.
Corpusalo, yeah.
I tried.
CSI wants to see how Columbus is doing.
Just give me 1 second, because first I got to go check my new favorite hockey team, which is the ECHL, San Jose Dictators.
And Gudu question in chat. No, I don't think we got. I don't see anything up in chat from you other than your initial hi, folks. So if you posted something, I didn't see it.
San Jose Dictators are 17-8-4 for second place in the Western Conference Central Division. Nothing wrong with that at all. Funnily enough,
and what a lovely team abbreviation they have.
Funnily enough, Jason Kadorf is their goaltender. Jets connection. It all comes back to the Jets. And Jordy Steller is playing for them. Also a former Winnipeg pick, I do believe. Alright, sorry, you wanted to know, what was it? Columbus? Columbus is doing okay, 15-11-2 in this particular sim. I don't even remember who we took off. Oh, we took the goalie off Columbus, who's in the AHL, I think.
Yeah,
Corpusalo.
Corpusalo.
Talking about Corpusalo.
So that really shouldn't have hurt them that much.
No. Not as much as, say, somebody else leaving. And all right. Only guy who still needs some time to get adjusted is Philip Magnuson, who actually hasn't played a game yet in North America. CS High 312 in the chat says, not a bad start for the Blue Jackets. No. There's nobody with that bad a start. Josh Manson was hurt.
There's the captain.
So he's back to almost 100%. So what happened? Oh, lacerated shin. He's fine. He's fine. And in fact, he's back and ready to go for our next game versus Arizona. Which is awesome. We'll let Grubauer see if he can bounce back and kind of get something going again. And no, he decides to lose in overtime. 3-2. Nah. The fun factor is wearing off. Ratcast in the chat says, the old music is back past the hot cocoa.
No, the new stuff ran out?
No, it mixed all together.
Oh, okay.
I'm not getting rid of it. I like some of these beats. They're nice. They're calming.
No, take your word for it.
You know, it's kind of just been part of it now so long, Jeff. I mean, we've been streaming now since... Oh, geez, how long have we been doing these streams? I got to think about this for a minute.
Mid FHM2?
Yeah, so... Oh, man, we finally get a win. Grubauer gets warm again, overtime. In fact, a shootout, but he finally gets a little bit of heat, 4-3. Yeah, so that was back in, what, 2016? 15?
17 would be... Oh, yeah, we would have released 4 and 17, 3 and 16, 2 would have been 15, and we started doing the shows in midway through 2, so like January 2016. If I remember right.
Yeah, I was thinking it was before that, but you know, that easily could be right.
It's coming up on 3 years.
Yeah, very quickly approaching 3 years. That's a lot of episodes. There's been a lot of times we've taken weeks off. Game versus Minnesota here. Put Saros in net. Because most importantly, we've got a game versus Winnipeg coming. And we lose in overtime versus Minnesota. Dubnik's 4 fires, so honestly, that's about as good as we could expect. Push them to a shootout. I'm not mad.
Oh, Gudu asking the tactics. Are you just? Is the only thing you saw changing the offensive and defensive preference? Because the AI will do that on its own. It's not actually affecting anything directly. It just influences the tactical choices. That if the AI is set to you to do its own coaching, but even if you're doing the coaching, it will give you an idea of what its preference is at the given time. That isn't actually affecting anything your team is doing.
As the game's going on, we're out shooting Winnipeg 6-1, 7-1 through 10 minutes. Ratcast says, I saw an old news article that says the Rangers lost 5-3 in OT. I guess they played 10 minutes of OT back in the day.
How old was that? It must have been really old, like. Yeah, 40s.
Okay, then Mark Sheffley scores to make it 4-1. Or sorry, 1-0, not 4-1.
Probably early 40s before they shut down overtime completely because the war. So everybody can get on their train on time.
McGuire scores to make it 2-0. Rough go.
Okay, you're just throwing this game now.
I do no such thing. Shots for 10-10 at the end of one. In 2 minutes into the second.
Yeah, good. That's exactly what I was figured it would be. I think we need to at least make that invisible so it doesn't look like the AI is changing it, even though it technically is. But it's not affecting anything you do.
Boot time.
Well, broke the shutout at least.
And with that, the period ends 2-1. Outshot 20-18. So not bad.
Yeah, good. You were beating them up pretty badly early on.
You win some and you lose some. There's number one. Grabner scores to make it 2-2. 15 minutes left. Lori Stahl taps her in to make it 3-2.
See, I called you on throwing the game for the Jets. Now you're trying to make it look like you weren't.
Another goal, 4-2. Just laying the smackdown on. Getting outshot, but we're getting the goals. Oh, it looks like they're... Oh. Yeah, looks like they're probably going to get one. And they do. So it's 4-3 with 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And the game ends with a 4-3 victory for us. We're outshot 31-27, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get the win.
Yeah, that's a couple in a row for us now.
No, we lost the last game.
Did we? I thought we had... Oh, no, we got the overtime point. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Ratcast in the chat says, hey, Jeff, it looks like random debut is always an initial draft. Is that always the case?
Yeah, it always is. I mean, there's no real sensible way to do the starting rosters without the initial draft. I mean, you could... no, even now that I think about it, even that wouldn't work if we just randomly drop guys on the rosters, because you wouldn't get necessarily a viable, like the right number of positions for each team. So it's a lot simpler just to start off with the draft.
You get 15 right wingers. You get 15 right wingers. You get 15 right wingers. And you get 25 defensemen.
17 goalies, something like that.
And no goalies.
That way, I mean, if you've got the draft running right at the start, it automatically ensures you're always going to get something close to a proper setup for every team.
Game versus Buffalo. And send it out, and we pick up another win. 4-1 win. Back above 500. Ratcast in the chat says, I would take all the goalies and make other teams
Quarter of the market on goalies.
Trade for one more. Half those guys could probably strap on the pads and go anyways. Alright, I have lost my mouse here for some reason.
Just sort of follow the cord and should be right at the end of it.
No, on my screen. Ooh, there's a plugged-in mouse.
Nicer than the... You're not a real gamer if you got one of those optical things. Losing microseconds.
Microsections, huh? And David Pasternak broke a bone in his face, so he's sidelined.
Coming up on the hour here, so I should probably take a quick look at the standings and see how far back we dropped, although at least we're back at 500.
Yeah, I'm just going to push forward just a tiny bit more. The wheel is turning, but the mouse is dead. Yeah, it's been a long day. As long as I don't fall asleep midstream, that would be kind of embarrassing.
No better here than driving back from Winnipeg from the game.
Yes. Yep. All right, so take a look at the standings. As we're 14, 14, and 3. We're pretty much exactly where we were. Through 34 games, we're 14, 14, 6 with 34 points. 91 goals for, 108 goals against, so we're minus 17. Sitting 6th in the Atlantic.
And I'm guessing out of the wild card spot?
Yes, at the moment, but we're not in last place by any means because there's 3 teams in the Metro and 2 teams in our division below us. So, Kudu creative in the chat says, I bet you pronounce players' names correctly in your sleep, Adam. I probably do.
I wouldn't take that bet.
And Winnipeg has pushed up to 15 and 21 now.
Yeah, they may salvage the season yet.
Fighting the way. Edmonton's having a tough go of it too at 14 and 20. Toronto has responded surprisingly well, moving to the West. They continue to do good work. And with that, I'll push it forward one more day, but I think we'll probably call it here. That is a horrifying top line, CS Highway.
Yeah, well, it's
3-1-2.
Slightly unbalanced. Or maybe it means Brett Lindros.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I got Gretzky on my top line. Wait, which one? Brad? I got Brad Gretzky. Goaltender is Harry Lumley. Nice.
Okay, then. Well, pretty good goalie at least. But...
Yes. Alright, so a couple waiver claims. Brendan Leipzig joins the Caps. Alright, so let's take a quick peek here. And, alright, roster. There's no one to click on. How badly TJ Brody injured? Corneal abrasion day to day. That's not very nice. Stat summary. Josh Bailey is now 23 points through 34 games. Adam Lowry's right behind him at 22. Adam, we made the playoffs. Well, not shot. Alright, so thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. You can also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter profile. You can also come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner. which will bring you to our official forums. And you can talk about Franchise Hockey Manager 5, Park Baseball, MLB Manager, or anything else you want to talk about. And, well, as Jeff mentioned before, there is a new patch coming.
Yeah, new update probably looking at Friday now. Should wanted to get it out tomorrow, but a couple of things are going to push that back a little bit, but looking good so far. No major problems with it. We just found some issues that we didn't know about yet and figured out how to fix them, so we just got to get that all tested tomorrow and we'll have it ready to go for you.
Absolutely. So, all right, so thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week.